Today we're going to use pattern blocks just like these that I have scattered all over the left-hand side of my slide. And so if you could go ahead and grab a handful of pattern blocks that were sent home with you. And the first thing we're going to do is sort our pattern blocks, and we're going to sort them by, in this case, size. Actually, they could all be sorted by size, shape, and color. Now, with other things, sometimes we sort things just by size, sometimes just by color, sometimes just by shape. This one we can actually sort by all three. So after you have your pattern blocks, you're going to go ahead and sort them. And what I mean by that is we're going to put, like for the instance this, we're going to put all of our squares together. And I'm going to put all of my trapezoids together. And I'm going to put all my hexagons together. Let's move those over here. And I'm going to put all these rhombuses together. And I'm going to put all my diamonds together. Okay, that cleans it up a lot, right? Now everything looks a little less chaotic and a little more organized. All right, now we're going to use the graph over here. And when we use our graph, do we start at the bottom or do we start at the top when we're coloring? That's right, we're going to start at the bottom. And the important thing is when you color, because what we're going to do is we're going to graph how many of each shape we have, how many of each pattern block. So I have to start at the bottom like we just talked about. And what we're going to do is each time we have a pattern block that is the same as the rest, we're going to color one square in each column as we go up. Now we can't skip a square either, or skip a box, so that's really important. So why don't we start with the trapezoids here? And you can watch this whole video and then do it on your own afterwards, or you can go through it with me. When you grabbed your handful of pattern blocks, you may not have gotten all the pattern blocks that I have. You may not have the same number, and that's okay. Usually graphs look different, and that's just fine. If you were in class, we'd actually pretty much all have different graphs. So if I started with my trapezoids, I'm going to see how many trapezoids I have. And it's hard because normally I could stack them into a pile and then see how many I have from there, or kind of put them. But when I have it on my slide here, they kind of go underneath each other, so it's kind of hard to see. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to count and see how many trapezoids I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which means in my first column, I'm going to go ahead and color how many boxes? I'm going to color 5. That's right. So since these are red, I'm going to go ahead and color them red. Now in math, we don't have to do perfect coloring. We just ask that it's not messy and that you fill in enough color so that we can tell, oh yeah, you meant to color that box in. So you can see how I'm not filling it in perfectly, but I'm not going outside the lines either. So that's 3, and then 4, and then 5. So let's just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so I am done with my trapezoids. I'm going to kind of set them off to the side down here so I know I've already colored those in. All right, so now I'm going to pick these rhombuses right here next. So I'm going to kind of spread them out so I can see how many I have. All right, so let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if you'd like to color your rhombuses next, please feel free. Let's see what color. Let's see if I have a tan over here. Try to change my colors a little bit. How about if we use, it's kind of more orange, isn't it? How about that color? All right, so there we go. I'm going to use this color, and I have 4, so I'm going to start at the bottom again. Again, I'm going to try to stay inside the lines and not make it look messy. So there's 2, 3, and 4. And now I'm going to go over and I'm going to double check. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, and I colored in 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. So perfect. All right, now I'm going to move these rhombuses out of the way. And let's see, how about if we go with our triangles next? So I'm going to kind of spread these out. Oh, look it. How many do I have? Yeah, I only have 1. So I'm going to pick a green. And I'm going to start at the bottom. And I'm just going to color 1. And then there we go. I'm going to slide my triangle out of the way. So I know I'm done with that. All right, let's go to the blue diamonds. Let's see how many we have of those. Oh, it looks like we have 1, 2. So I am going to pick a blue. And I'm going to start in a new column, starting at the bottom. And I'm going to color in 2. All right, let's double check. 1, 2, and 1, 2. Now I'm going to slide these out of the way. All right, let's go to this shape. What shape is that? That's a square, right? Okay, so let's spread them out, see how many we have. Ah, let's count. 1, 2, 3. So I need to pick an orange. And I'm going to color in 3, starting where? Right at the bottom. Okay, so there's 1, 2, and 3. Let's double check. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Voila. All right, let's slide those down here so they are out of the way. And then let's go to this shape. What shape is that? Right, that's our hexagon. It has 6 sides, so it's a hexagon. Okay, let's see how many we have of those. All right, let's count. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to pick a yellow. I'm going to start at the bottom. 1, 2, and 3. Let's double check. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. All right, we know we're done with that. Okay, so let's look at our graph. This is called a bar graph. What kind of graph? Right, a bar graph. Okay, so let's talk about what type of shape did we have the most of? Did you say the red trapezoid? Look at how this is the tallest column. We colored in the most boxes here. So yeah, we had the most, or I did. I had the most trapezoids. What type of shape did we have the least of? The least or the fewest was the green triangle. Look, I only have 1 and it's shorter than all the rest. Now look over here. Sometimes you have a tie, right? So these two we had 3 of, but the most type of pattern block I had was a trapezoid and the least was a triangle. Okay, if you haven't done it already, I'd like you to take your graph and a handful of pattern blocks, sort them first, and then go ahead and graph them and see what type of pattern block you have the most of and what type you have the least of. All right, let's make sure we're on the guided class practice side of our worksheet, 38A. And let's talk about this first number. What number is this? Think. If you said 35, good job. All right, let's take our finger and trace the 3 and then the 5. All right, and then grab your pencil. And now we're going to trace the 35 with our pencil. 3 and then 5. We have to write 35 2 more times because there's 2 more dots. So we have to start with the 3, go up, touch the top line, come in on the dotted line, and then sit on that bottom line. The 5, you start at the top line, come down to the dotted line, go around, sitting on the bottom line, and then slide across the top. Make sure you do that both times. You want nice, neat 3s and 5s. All right, sit back while I read the story. It says Mariel had 10 pennies. How many pennies? Right, 10 pennies. But she lost 3 pennies. How many pennies went away? Right, 3 pennies. How many pennies did she start with? 10. And how many went away? How many did she lose? Think. Yeah, she lost 3. It says draw a picture and write a number sentence to show the number of pennies she has now. So how many pennies did she start with? 10. All right, so I'm going to take my pencil and I'm just going to draw 10 circles. Now, don't make them too big because that's a lot of circles to fit in this rectangle. And then once you're done, let's go back and double check because we could easily miscount. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, and then how many pennies did she lose or how many pennies went away? 3. So if she lost 3 or 3 went away, what kind of story is this? Some more or some went away? Think. Which one? Yeah, if you said some went away, nice job. So I started with 10 pennies. How am I going to show that she lost 3? If you said we have to cross them out, good job. Now, am I going to start from the left side or the right? From the right. So I'm going to cross out the 3 pennies that she lost. And then it says, show the number of pennies she has now. So we have to write our number sentence. How many pennies did she start with? Think. Right, she started with 10, so I'm going to write 10. Now, what kind of symbol do I need to write in a some went away story? Did you say the subtraction symbol? Good job. And then how many went away? Yes, 3. And then what symbol do I need next? Equals. And then let's count and see how many we have now, or Mariel has now. Ready? Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So she has 7 pennies now. I'm going to write 7 here. And then it says, how many pennies does Mariel have now? I also have to write the answer there. 7 pennies. Now for number 3, it says color the tallest tower red. So let's look at these towers. Point to the one that you think is the tallest one. Are you pointing to this one right here? Good. All right, let's color it red. Again, we don't have to fill in the whole thing, but just try to stay in the line and be neat about it. Alrighty. All right, now it's asking us to color the second tallest tower yellow. So which tower do you think is the second tallest? Point to the one that you think is the second tallest. Did you say this one? Good, let's color it yellow. All right. Get enough color in there. And we'll move on. All right, now it says color the shortest tower blue. So point to the shortest tower. Right there. All right, that's going to be blue. Nice job. All right, now we're going to answer our math facts at the bottom. So let's say them together, and we'll write down the answers. Here we go. 3 plus 3 equals, think. What number comes after 3? It's 4. Next, let's say this one. 1 plus 5 equals, think. What number comes after 5? 6. Next one. 1 plus 8 equals, think. What number comes after 8? It's 9. Next one. 2 plus 1 equals, think. What number comes after 3? I'm sorry, after 2. It's 3. I gave you the answer that time. All right, let's say this one. 7 plus 1 equals, think. What number comes after 7? It's 8. Next, oh, we moved on to our doubles. 6 plus 6 equals, think. 12. All right, 12 is a 1 and then a 2. Next one. 8 plus 8 equals, think. What's the answer? 16. We need a 1 and then a 6. And then the next one is 3 plus 3 equals, think. What'd you get? 6. Good job. All right, flip the paper over and make sure you do side B.